ਵੈਲਕਮ ਟੂ ਦਿਸ ਐਪੀਸੋਡ ਆਫ ਦ ਹਰਪ੍ਰੀਤ ਸਿੰਘ ਸ਼ੋ। ਅੱਜ ਦੇ ਸੈਗਮੈਂਟ ਵਿੱਚ ਅਸੀਂ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਮੁਲਾਕਾਤ ਕਰਾਵਾਂਗੇ ਡਾਕਟਰ ਨੀਲ ਟੈਸਲਰ ਨਾਲ, ਜਿਹੜੇ ਕਿ ਇੱਕ ਨਾਮਵਰ ਨੈਚੁਰੋਪੈਥਿਕ ਫਿਜ਼ੀਸ਼ੀਅਨ ਨੇ ਤੇ ਨਾਲ ਹੋਮਿਓਪੈਥੀ ਦੇ ਐਕਸਪਰਟ ਨੇ। ਆਓ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਕੋਲੋਂ ਜਾਣਕਾਰੀ ਲੈਂਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਕਿ ਕਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਵੀ ਤੰਦਰੁਸਤ ਰਹਿ ਸਕਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਐਲੋਪੈਥਿਕ ਦਵਾਈਆਂ ਖਾਏ ਬਗੈਰ, ਅਤੇ ਕਿਸ ਤਰੀਕੇ ਨਾਲ ਜੋ ਨੈਚੁਰਲ ਮੈਡੀਸਿਨਸ ਨੇ ਉਹ ਅੱਜ ਮਾਰਕੀਟ ਵਿੱਚ ਬਹੁਤ ਆਈਆਂ ਨੇ, ਕਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਦਾ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਹੋਣਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਹੈ, ਕਿਸ ਤੋਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਬਚ ਕੇ ਰਹਿਣਾ ਹੈ। ਸਵਾਗਤ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਡਾਕਟਰ ਨੀਲ ਟੈਸਲਰ ਦਾ। ਵੈਲਕਮ ਟੂ ਦ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ।
Thank you.
Thank you. So Dr. Neil, a little bit about yourself, since how long you have been associated with this field and what prompted you to jump into this field?
Well, I've been in practice in British Columbia since 1983.
Okay.
I discovered homeopathy back in 1974 when I was in India.
Mm-hmm.
I was 18 years old. I was at an ashram in Delhi.
Right.
And the spiritual teacher there referred to homeopathy quite often. I had no idea what it was. I grew up very conventionally.
Mm-hmm.
And I had some experiences of homeopathy when I was there at that time.
Okay.
And I noticed the term on a lot of different buildings.
Mm-hmm.
So I was working at a bookstore in Vancouver after that for a little while, and there were books on homeopathy, and I began to research it, and I became very intrigued, and ultimately decided to go to naturopathic college to pursue a career in homeopathy, but with that background in naturopathic medicine.
Mm-hmm. Wonderful. So over the years, what we are finding is that people are turning away from allopathy and coming towards various other forms of medicines which are natural, which are herbal based or which are plant based. What is your observation in these many years of working? What are you finding out? Why are people turning back?
Well, you know, of course, this is a long, involved story. People are concerned about medicine that's just based on symptoms.
Right.
And they're looking for something deeper, something that really supports their health. They're looking to be more empowered in their own capacity to improve their health, take more responsibility for their health. And so many people are turning towards natural medicine. I was in White Rock for many years as pretty much the only naturopath. There were one or two.
Right.
Now there are about 35 or 40 within about a 10-minute drive.
Wow,
So,
wow.
yeah.
So naturopathy is gaining ground, as you said.
Yeah, absolutely.
What about the results? Because generally when we talk about naturopathy and homeopathy as such, generally it is said that it takes a lot of time, we want instant results. What about this particular field?
I don't agree with that at all, actually. The problem with homeopathy is accuracy.
Right.
If the remedy is accurate, it does not take long to see results.
Right.
I've never seen it taking months and months for results to appear.
Okay.
The longest maybe 3 weeks to a month once the correct remedy is given, often very rapidly. And in the case of things like ear infections or coughs, things of this nature, very rapid, or hay fever, very rapid results.
World over, we are finding that people's attitude is changing now. People are turning back to nature, and this is gaining ground now. People want to be healthy. People want, because mind and body concept is also in use in this particular thing. So when you talk about the symptoms as such, with allopathy, you are just treating the symptoms as you mentioned. But with these kind of medicines, and especially homeopathy, what is homeopathy and how does it kind of help the people? Does it go to the root, or this again is touched at the basic level only?
Well, I think homeopathy goes very, very deeply. Herbal medicine and nutritional medicine, you're really working on supporting better health on a very simple, basic kind of level.
Right.
And they have certainly made tremendous advance scientifically in herbal medicine and nutritional medicine. But homeopathy is really looking at the whole mental, emotional, and physical patterning and getting right to the root. And I find that the homeopathy has the capacity to treat a range of conditions at a very deep level that you can't get to in other ways.
Right. And with your experience being in this business for a long time now, when we talk about the mind, body, soul concept, it is gaining ground again, as I said before also, that people are now realizing that just treating the symptom would not change their lifestyle, and they have to now deal with all these. So when you talk about, as a homeopath doctor, when clients come to you, and a lot of Indo-Canadians also come to you, what are the major kind of problems which people are passing through, which they discuss with you?
Well, the Indo-Canadian community represents probably about half my practice. and because they have a great love for homeopathy, a great respect there.
Right.
But what I find is that there's two major areas of problem. One is a lot of issues related to hay fever and allergy-related conditions, eczema, asthma, things of this nature.
Right.
Because the body's been tuned for northern India, let's say with Punjabi community, for thousands of years, then comes from the more or less arid plains of northern India to the rainforest of British Columbia. And this is like an attack on the immune system.
Right.
So for first generation, it may not come out for 5, 10, 15 years. But for the second generation, they often show up with these allergies right away.
Right.
And they often notice that when they go back to Punjab, say Jalandhar, Ludhiana, for a visit, then they feel much better.
Right.
And they come back here and problems begin again. So that's one area, is the hay fever, allergies, and those kinds of problems. Second area is dietary.
Right.
Because the Indian diet, and I love Indian food, what happens is, in many cases, it's rather deficient. And I find that many people, after they're getting into their 40s, are developing digestive complaints.
Right.
Are developing blood sugar issues and blood lipid issues, and many problems are coming up that are associated with errors in the diet. Too much sugar, too much oils, too much wheat, and not enough whole food.
Right. So these are the major issues which which people are confronting, and you can try to help them out.
That's certainly true. Yeah.
Okay, now when we talk about homeopathy as such, now is it only if you have a disease that you can come and take homeopathic medicine, or just for your well-being also, you can, for your wellness, you can have these medicines?
Well, in my practice, a person can come from a wellness point of view if they're seeking better overall health. That's something of great interest to me. I mean, healthy aging.
Right.
We really want to be our best at every age. And maybe one day drop like a piece of ripe fruit.
Right.
No one wants to experience a long decline and decay and all of that.
Right.
So there are many, many wonderful ways that we can support and best health and take more responsibility for our health. But on the other hand, there are people nowadays with anxiety issues, depression issues, and all the various physical issues. So people will come with a main complaint.
Right.
But then we want to delve very deeply to find the fullest understanding of where that main complaint is coming from.
Right.
Yeah.
That's an interesting point what you have touched, and I would like to discuss about this after this short break. We'll go for a short break, come back and learn more from you as to the importance of homeopathy and what people can take advantage of. Thank you for your time. We'll go for a short break. ਸੋ ਹੁਣ ਤੱਕ ਜੋ ਅਸੀਂ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਕੀਤੀ ਉਸ ਵਿੱਚ ਡਾਕਟਰ ਨੀਲ ਟੈਸਲਰ ਨੇ ਦੱਸਿਆ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਇਹ 18 ਸਾਲ ਦੇ ਸੀ ਜਦੋਂ ਇਹ ਭਾਰਤ ਵਿੱਚ ਗਏ ਸੀ ਤੇ ਉੱਥੇ ਕਿਸੇ ਆਸ਼ਰਮ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਸੁਣਿਆ ਸੀ ਕਿ ਹੋਮਿਓਪੈਥੀ ਕੀ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ। ਵਾਪਸ ਵੈਂਕੂਵਰ ਵਿੱਚ ਆ ਕੇ ਇੱਕ ਬੁੱਕ ਸਟੋਰ ਵਿੱਚ ਕੰਮ ਕਰਿਆ ਕਰਦੇ ਸੀ। ਉੱਥੋਂ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਰੁਝਾਨ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਹੋਮਿਓਪੈਥੀ ਪਾਸੇ ਗਿਆ। ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਕਿਤਾਬਾਂ ਪੜ੍ਹਨੀਆਂ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਕੀਤੀਆਂ ਅਤੇ ਉਸ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਨੈਚੁਰੋਪੈਥਿਕ ਮੈਡੀਸਨ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਡਿਗਰੀ ਲਈ ਤੇ ਹੋਮਿਓਪੈਥੀ ਜੋ ਹੈ ਐਜ਼ ਅ ਕੈਰੀਅਰ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਅਡਾਪਟ ਕੀਤਾ। ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਕਹਿਣਾ ਕਿ ਅੱਧੇ ਤੋਂ ਵੱਧ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਕੋਲ ਇੰਡੋ ਕੈਨੇਡੀਅਨਸ ਆਉਂਦੇ ਨੇ ਤੇ ਜਦੋਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਨੈਚੁਰਲ ਮੈਡੀਸਨ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਤਾਂ ਲੋਕ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਨੇ ਕਿ ਸਿਰਫ ਸਿੰਪਟਮਸ ਤੱਕ ਹੀ ਠੀਕ ਨਾ ਕੀਤਾ ਜਾਏ। ਉਸ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਮਾਈਂਡ ਬਾਡੀ ਸਪਿਰਿਟ ਦਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਕਨਸੈਪਟ ਹੈ ਉਸ 'ਤੇ ਕੰਮ ਕਰਦੇ ਨੇ ਤੇ ਹੋਮਿਓਪੈਥੀ ਮੈਡੀਸਨ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਹੈਗੀ ਹੈ ਇਹ ਸਿਰਫ ਸਿੰਪਟਮਸ ਨੂੰ ਹੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਡੀਲ ਕਰਦੀ, ਇਹ ਪੂਰੇ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਮਾਈਂਡ ਬਾਡੀ ਤੇ ਸੋਲ ਦੇ ਕਨਸੈਪਟ ਉੱਤੇ ਕੰਮ ਕਰਦੇ ਨੇ। ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਕਿਹਾ ਕਿ ਮੇਰੇ ਕੋਲ ਜਦੋਂ ਮਰੀਜ਼ ਆਉਂਦੇ ਨੇ ਤੇ ਖਾਸ ਤੌਰ 'ਤੇ ਇੰਡੋ ਕੈਨੇਡੀਅਨਸ ਦੀ ਜਦ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਤਾਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਵਿੱਚੋਂ ਵੀ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਦੋ ਮੇਜਰ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਦਾ ਉਹ ਸ਼ਿਕਾਰ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਨੇ। ਨੰਬਰ 1 ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਕਿਹਾ ਕਿ ਡਾਈਟ ਜੋ ਹੈ ਖਾਣ ਪੀਣ ਜੋ ਹੈ ਸਾਡਾ ਉਹ ਠੀਕ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ, ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਤੇਲ, ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਸ਼ੂਗਰ, ਇਹ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਨੇ ਸਰੀਰ ਵਿੱਚ ਖਰਾਬੀ ਲਿਆਉਂਦੀਆਂ ਨੇ। ਦੂਸਰੇ ਪਾਸੇ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਕਿਹਾ ਕਿ ਐਲਰਜੀਜ਼, ਐਗਜ਼ੀਮਾ ਹੋਏ ਜਾਂ ਹੇ ਫੀਵਰ ਦਾ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਜ਼ਿਕਰ ਕੀਤਾ ਤੇ ਇਹ ਐਲਰਜੀਜ਼ ਇਸ ਕਰਕੇ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਇੱਥੇ ਨੇ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਮਾਹੌਲ ਵਿੱਚੋਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਆਏ, ਜਿੱਥੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਰਹਿੰਦੇ ਸੀ ਉੱਥੇ ਵੱਖਰਾ এনवायरमेंट ਸੀ, ਇੱਥੇ ਕੁਝ ਹੋਰ ਹੈ। ਹੋਮਿਓਪੈਥਿਕ ਇੱਕ ਕੰਪਰੀਹੈਂਸਿਵ ਪੈਕੇਜ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਕਿਹਾ ਹੈ ਜਿਸ ਦਾ ਕਿ ਫਾਇਦਾ ਲੋਕ ਲੈ ਸਕਦੇ ਨੇ। ਲੈਣੇ ਇੱਕ ਛੋਟੀ ਜਿਹੀ ਬ੍ਰੇਕ, ਵਾਪਸ ਆ ਕੇ ਹੋਰ ਜਾਣਕਾਰੀ ਲੈਣੇ। ਸੋ ਸਵਾਗਤ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਜੀ ਇੱਕ ਵਾਰ ਫਿਰ ਆਪ ਸਭ ਦਾ ਅੱਜ ਦੇ ਇਸ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ। ਮੇਰੇ ਨਾਲ ਸਾਥ ਦੇ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ ਡਾਕਟਰ ਨੀਲ ਟੈਸਲਰ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਕਿ ਇੱਕ ਹੋਮਿਓਪੈਥੀ ਦੇ ਐਕਸਪਰਟ ਨੇ ਤੇ ਨੈਚੁਰੋਪੈਥੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਇਹ ਟ੍ਰੀਟਮੈਂਟ ਕਰਦੇ ਨੇ। ਹੋਮਿਓਪੈਥੀ ਦੇ ਕਿਹੜੇ ਫਾਇਦੇ ਨੇ ਇਸ ਬਾਰੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ, ਆਓ ਕੁਝ ਹੋਰ ਜਾਣਕਾਰੀ ਲੈਣੇ। So before the break, doctor, you were talking about that people are facing many issues, and especially mental issues are coming quite in the forefront, depression, anxiety, all these things. Because that is said that whatever is in the mind, that is reflected in your body. So when you see towards this aspect, how do you deal with it? Like when a person comes to you and talks to you about depression as such, so the treatment with homeopathy, how does it affect and help them?
Well, the first thing is you want to take the case properly.
Right.
We're not so much interested in the diagnosis the person comes with. We're really interested in that person and what makes them unique.
Right.
And so we're really going to look at their story, their history, their background, and how did they come to be where they are. We really want to get a very profound understanding of this person, how they think. And so first we take a very good case. I could take 3/4 of an hour and a half, sometimes 2 hours, to really spend a lot of time and really understand them very well.
Right.
So that's good, because there might be a counseling element, there might be some ideas I have to help them get more grounded and more centered. I also have a meditation program that I have on my website, so people can learn how to relax and get rid of some of that anxiety using meditation techniques. So, the homeopathy can be extremely helpful in mood conditions, but also you can also bring diet in as well, and herbal medicine in as well, which can also support better mental emotional health because of what we now know about some herbs and their benefits for the emotions. But the homeopathy seems to get more to the root.
Right.
And but it even seems to be very helpful to take that time to help people look at their life in broad measure and learn some skills that they may not have for dealing with stress, dealing with anxiety, dealing with some of the pressures in their life.
So it's more of a comprehensive package where everything is looked into and then the solution is brought forward.
Exactly.
Okay.
For instance, in the Indo-Canadian community, I find that there's a lot of alcohol issues, there are a lot of family issues, and so you have the wives coming in or the children coming in with a lot of concerns relating to what's going on in the family, and even the husbands coming in and wanting help for themselves. So we really want to support the family to be strong and healthy, and so we're going to give advice and give remedies according to the circumstance and situation, and to help them manage their circumstance more effectively.
So doctor, from the talk I have listened to you, it seems that virtually all kind of diseases can be treated with homeopathy.
For sure.
But on the other hand, when we talk about other forms of medicines, many times it's said they have the side effects. Are there any side effects of homeopathy also?
Well, the beauty of homeopathy is that the remedy, if it's very accurate, will work. If it's not accurate, it will do nothing, and there will be no side effects, and there are essentially no side effects to the remedies. Sometimes we'll see a few secondary symptoms, but they're always very brief and impermanent, and that's not that common.
So what you have mentioned out is that you spend more time on understanding the issue rather than just dispensing the medicine as such, and that is where the focus is on counseling. There's a counseling aspect, there is a treatment aspect, there is a concept of understanding what the person is passing through, the issues and challenges, and then finally you come forward and prescribe the medicine.
Absolutely.
Okay. And over the years, as you have mentioned, more than half of your clients are Indo-Canadians. And you have also talked about the two major aspects, the kinds of problems what people face. So over the years, with more and more people coming to you, what are the changes you are finding in them when they come to you before and after they go from you?
Well, it's interesting, the Indian Canadian community has evolved tremendously in the 30 years I've been in practice. They've become much more, I would say, as a group, acclimated to the West and the Western ways, more able to incorporate their own cultural background and the nature of how we are here in the West. And they're more open and more interested, and they do more research. I think there's a much more mature capacity to interact and accept these ideas. Now, a simple example would be roti. Many people are reacting to wheat. Many people are very sensitive to wheat, and they don't even realize it. Now, in the Indo-Canadian community, they're based on wheat.
Of course.
Whether bread or roti, pranta, etc. So when I have to give them new ideas about grains that they can try, because I can tell that there are problems with wheat, we might talk about bajra, we might talk about jowar, we might talk about channa, and other things that they can use, and I give them even recipes, so they can try alternatives. And there's much more openness to this now than there used to be.
Doctor, in your 30 years of working with Indo-Canadians, you have learned quite a lot of things about the culture,
Yes.
our dietary habits and other things.
Yes.
Towards the end, if people want to come and contact you, where they can call you, what's your website, and
Sure.
what other suggestion with your experience finally you would like to give us?
Sure. My phone number is 604-542-9759. My website, and you can actually make appointments through my website or do the free meditation program.
Right.
It's uniqueholisticsolutions.com.
Right.
Uniqueholisticsolutions.com. Basically, you know, I love to work with the Indo-Canadian community. I have a little bit of Punjabi lingo, toda, and you know, more religious language.
Right.
I've studied the Sikh gurus very much. I've been to India 5 times now, so I really enjoy working with the Indo-Canadian community.
It was a pleasure talking to you, and I'll be more careful in when I sum up what I say, because you are understanding what I am saying. It was a pleasure talking to you, sir. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. ਸੋ ਜੋ ਹੁਣ ਤੱਕ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਹੋਈ, ਇਸ ਵਿੱਚ ਡਾਕਟਰ ਨੀਲ ਥੇਸਲਰ ਨੇ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਦੱਸਿਆ ਹੈਗਾ ਕਿ 30 ਸਾਲ ਦਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਐਕਸਪੀਰੀਅੰਸ ਹੈ, ਉਸ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਬਹੁਤ ਸਾਰੇ ਇੰਡੋ ਕੈਨੇਡੀਅਨਸ ਨਾਲ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਵਾਰਤਾਲਾਪ ਕੀਤੀ ਹੈਗੀ ਹੈ। ਅਤੇ ਸਲਿਊਸ਼ਨ ਸਿਰਫ ਇਹੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਿ ਦਵਾਈ ਦੇ ਦਿੱਤੀ ਜਾਵੇ, ਹੋਮਿਓਪੈਥੀ ਨਾਲ ਹਰ ਇੱਕ ਕਿਸਮ ਦੀ ਡਿਜ਼ੀਜ਼ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਹੈ ਉਸ ਦੀ ਟ੍ਰੀਟਮੈਂਟ ਹੋ ਸਕਦੀ ਹੈ। ਲੇਕਿਨ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਕਿਹਾ ਕਿ ਇੱਕ ਕੰਪਰੀਹੈਂਸਿਵ ਪੈਕੇਜ ਹੈ। 5 ਵਾਰ ਇੰਡੀਆ ਜਾ ਚੁੱਕੇ ਨੇ, ਸਿੱਖ ਗੁਰੂਆਂ ਬਾਰੇ ਵੀ ਇਹ ਪੜ੍ਹ ਚੁੱਕੇ ਨੇ, ਖਾਣ ਪੀਣ ਦੇ ਬਾਰੇ ਵੀ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਕਿਸ ਚੀਜ਼ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਬਿਲੀਵ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ। ਪਰ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਕਿਹਾ ਕਿ ਇਹ ਸਮੱਸਿਆ ਦਾ ਹੱਲ ਜੋ ਹੈ ਮਾਨਸਿਕ ਤਲ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਜਾਂ ਸਰੀਰਕ ਤਲ ਤੇ, ਇਹ ਦੋਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਕੰਬਾਈਨ ਕਰਕੇ ਹੀ ਟ੍ਰੀਟਮੈਂਟ ਦਿੱਤੀ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਹੈ। ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾਤਰ ਸਮਾਂ ਇਹ ਕਾਉਂਸਲਿੰਗ 'ਤੇ ਲਾਉਂਦੇ ਨੇ, ਸਮਝਣ ਵਿੱਚ ਕੋਸ਼ਿਸ਼ ਕਰਦੇ ਨੇ ਕਿ ਪ੍ਰੋਬਲਮ ਕੀ ਹੈ, ਉਸ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਸੋਲਿਊਸ਼ਨ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਹੈ। ਅਤੇ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਵੈਬਸਾਈਟ ਹੈ, ਉੱਥੇ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਵੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਸਕਰੀਨ 'ਤੇ ਦੇਖ ਰਹੇ ਹੋ ਤੁਸੀਂ, ਉੱਥੇ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਹੋਰ ਇਨਫੋਰਮੇਸ਼ਨ ਲੈ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ, ਅਤੇ ਟ੍ਰੀਟਮੈਂਟ ਜੇ ਕਰਵਾਉਣੀ ਹੈ ਤਾਂ ਉਸ ਬਾਰੇ ਵੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨਾਲ ਸਲਾਹ ਲੈ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ।